For me, home is, I keep talking about the web that I can feel and see as I go to places, and maybe it's a place, maybe it's a person, sometimes it's yourself, sometimes it's a scent. I think it's really the place that we get to be our real selves. You know, the place that we get to kind of take off whatever we put on when we go into the world.
I don't really think home is defined by a physical space right now, but rather just like a feeling of comfort or warmth. And that often comes from people or even just like past experiences or memories. So I try to hold on to those memories and translate them and see that really comes to light in someone else's home again.
I think of home as like a vehicle for just like surviving these times we're in.
My body is my biggest home, you know? How's that saying? Like, home is where the heart is? Yeah? I think literally your heart is in your body, and so that's where my home is. And so I could be anywhere, and as long as I'm feeling connected, I can feel at home and find a sense of ease, and really being able to tap in and go inward really allows me to just find a sense of peace and calmness.
I think there's so many levels to home, like personally. Yourself can be a home, like the body you inhabit, you know. Earth is like a home. I think home can be like a sanctuary.
So it was just me and my family, and I was really close with my grandmother and like my mom's side of the family. So we'd spend a lot of time together just going to restaurants or just like walking to just like random shops and eating like pani puri or just like small Indian snacks around the cross. Like those are like really strong core memories that I still have, because like I'm surprised I have so much small detail that I still remember from like since I was like probably 6 years old, you know, and I still remember what I ate with them, and it's like really special still. So I'm trying to like bring that back.
Sound is the first sense that we develop in the womb. So for me, it's like the place like that you can get to like your most authentic state. So of course, like my practice in sound feels like it's rooted in home.
The stuff that I bring home is stuff that I like find myself in the object. You know, it's like that might have just been it. You know, maybe it's like going to a museum and like wanting to like go behind the glass to like touch something. I want to feel it, I want to sit in it, I want to like know what somebody 150 years ago was like looking at or touching.
A scent that takes me to home, this is really hilarious, but it's the moment that you walk into Shoppers Drug Mart. My memories of going to Shoppers Drug Mart were with my mom, you know, and like when I was a kid, we would constantly be going to this place that had this like massive aroma, and like, you know, what brings me close to home? That's my mom, you know, and so that really, every time it just kind of like, it has my home, my actual physical home, there's nothing to do with that, you know, scent at all, but the moment I go in there, I remember being a kid, I remember being with my mom, and, you know, one of the stops along the way was always home.
I'm obsessed with sensation. It is something that like I started to use as a part of my vocabulary pretty regularly. While we want to constantly do this is good, this is bad, this is comfortable, this is uncomfortable, and those are helpful categories, they all have one thing in common, and it's that they are like a response to a sensation. To me, it's like without texture, you don't really remember anything.
Those sensory experiences that helped me feel grounded were the aromas that I would smell as I immediately opened the door of my family home. The kitchen hustle bustle of my mom cooking, my dad being on the phone, all the while with the TV being on, and my cat roaming around asking for food, all humming as an orchestra of sounds. All those things cloak me with the feeling of safety.
I think tactility has been a huge part of my life. That part is reminiscent of, you know, projects in the past or like crafts when I was younger, where it's like you're making paper mache and you're really like feeling the material, you're feeling the glue and the paper and the water, whatever. Being able to interact with materials from a young age, like playing with sand, you know, throwing rocks into the water and stuff like that. Like, that was a huge part of my upbringing. So that connects with the work now in different ways, but tactility being like the mainstay.
I think I calculated once that I've moved, I think 25 times in my life.
People are moving constantly. That's what keeps my industry going. People have like 1, 2, 3 years maybe on a lease, but most people are out after a year or 2 or break up or something. Like, it's constant mobility.
I'm in a very transitional period, and I guess we really all are, but I don't have just one home right now. I've become aware of the things that really resonate for me and the things that I'm drawn to.
You know, we all struggle with our own sense of insecurities or not feeling connected. And I struggled for a really long time not really feeling connected to my body. Mentally, I was connected, and even emotionally, but the physical aspect of my existence felt very like fractured. And so after many, many years of doing a lot of things, I think I finally found my place.
As like an immigrant, like being kind of torn away from your community and your family, like that was home. It's like, who am I? Where am I from? Like, I need to go back to the roots and check that. And then you go there and you're like, actually, I don't feel at home here either. I've been here for 30 years in Toronto. It was always hard for me to even like be like, Toronto is home.
Something I'm figuring out about home, yeah, one of the things would be whether Toronto is like meant to be home for me, whether I haven't quite decided whether to lay roots here permanently.
Sometimes we've grown up in environments where things aren't as easy at home, and you have to sort of go outside of this physical environment to be at ease with yourself. Home is something I find within myself. You just gotta like rearrange things, and sometimes you're always building that home, and it takes a while.
Home isn't like a place where I go. Home is a place where like I am. So like wherever I go, I'm at home with myself.
The beauty in contrast is that you can put two things together that, you know, isolated have very different connotations, but when merged together, have like a synergy that is new. Obviously our homes are made of so many different things, right? Like, it's the memories, it's the people, it's the moments you share, and then it's also the physical aspects of things. So as a material, time is one of the most important. And so whenever I make a piece and the client gets to use it and live with it and stuff like that, like they're adding their time and patina to the piece.
The texture shows the life that that object has lived, you know, so natural materials will adjust. We shift with our environments and our experiences, and I think there's so much beauty in that, you know.
I always talk about my furniture being a platform for life. I never want my furniture to be the front and center of a room. Like, it's meant to be in the background, it's meant to uplift whatever life is being lived.
I don't know, I just wanted to make it nicer. I wanted it to be something special because it felt like it was special, like the act of sharing time together.
I really became obsessed with the fact that I only could focus on one thing and one element, and I thought that was really beautiful, and it really just brought a lot of peace and calm for myself.
The stuff that I bring home is stuff that I like find myself in the object. You know, it's like that's me. I don't know. That thing has nothing to do with me, but that is me. I don't know. I want to like eat it. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like I want to like be the clay.
I think there's like an inherent energy in the things that we hold and what we possess. That energy sort of permeates into our being and then the spaces that we're in. And I think that energy, whether we know it or not, you know, it exists.
There's a real commitment on the part of both the people who would come and take part in these things from a guest perspective to the people who are offering these different art sort of vulnerable show pieces and pieces of themselves, that people are understanding what it takes to make those offerings and being grateful and showing up and really feeling excited about the kind of talent that we have. I also can't believe how ravenous this younger cohort of artists that we're seeing come through are for breaking new ground and trying new things. I would say there's definitely new ideas that we haven't seen before happening. So yeah, I'm feeling very optimistic.
You know, I really hope that they feel like they can live their life their way, with my furniture just being a platform for that.
I hope they feel the love that I put into it.
The more that we can lean into sort of a rest or a wellness routine and prove to ourselves that we're so worth it, that we need that in our lives, the better our relationship with the self will be.
The more connection you have to yourself, the more power you have. And so I think it's been very much intentional for us to be less connected to ourselves. So I hope you can find a sense of safety to really find your own power.
Best thing you could do is host. I think that informs your home so much.
It's really about how you set up the environment, which is who you invite into your space, how you stage it.
Now I can actually just think about my own home and what I want that to look like. And I think that comes down to figuring out your own taste and yeah, trusting yourself, I think.
At the end of the day, maybe life is just finding that journey back to home. And I think that is really beautiful, and I'm just slowly making my journey through to find that answer.